Hi, I'm Mary Nagai, and I am the Director of Medical and Scientific Affairs here at Platinum Naturals. Today to Platinum Naturals webinar on Inflacare X. Inflacare X is a solution to pain and inflammation. It was designed to reduce the inflammation, the pain, and promote healing. This is pain by reducing swelling, and it supports rapid healing. All of the ingredients, because they're suspended using suspension technology, exist sustained release. And the result is this is a very effective product for providing relief by reducing inflammation and stopping pain and promoting healing. Inflacare, indications for Inflacare are forever expanding. As we hear about and more from our customers and how using Inflacare. Today, what we use Inflacare for is for headaches, including migraines, fibromyalgia, arthritis, Crohn's disease, and acute and chronic muscle and joint pains, including carpal tunnel syndrome, back pain, jaw pain. We also recommend it for use following surgery, particularly oral surgery, to help reduce pain and inflammation. Inflacare is a multi-element formulation that includes the well herbs, cat's claw, devil's claw, cayenne, and turmeric root. All herbs have been shown to be very effective at reducing pain and swelling. In addition, the product contains deglycerized root, which helps to alleviate any problems or symptoms that you may develop from using this product. Valia gum resin contains, and this is the key feature of Inflacare X, are the proteolytic enzymes ratiopeptidase, bromelain stem, trypsin, and trypsin. And the enzymes form together in this product that contains these botanicals, cat's claw, devil's claw, cayenne, and turmeric root, along with boswellia gum. But very powerful formulation that helps reduce pain and inflammation. And this is particularly powerful because all the ingredients are to you using legacy suspension technology, using coconut MCTs and cold pressed olive oil, both very, very effective omega fatty acids that help and deliver all these ingredients to you. About the ingredients that are contained in Inflacare X. The first one I'd like to bring your attention to is boswellia. Given in 2008 to 75 patients who were diagnosed with osteoarthritis and had these patients take 100 milligrams of boswellia once a day for 90 days. As you can see, these patients took the best were. So from 0 days, which is baseline, you can see that each of them had a significant amount of pain, which is about 4.5 at a scale of 10. This again scored out of 10 about 3. And all their function was about 3, a little higher than 3. So that's great. Ideally, you'd like your function to be in the ones. The score in all categories is 1. So what happened with these patients was, over a period of 90 days, all of their scores graded downwards, and including actually got to 1. The amount of reduced to 2, and there was about 1.5. An ideal functional score, a score max score. It did indeed help these patients who had arthritis function better. Now let's look. Devil's claw has been advocated for the use in rheumatoid arthritis for many, many years. And in 2007, took 249 patients who had arthritis for more than 5 years, and this disease ravaged their body area. And all these patients rate pain as being 2 to 7 out of 10. So when how they scored, again, that will match score, the ideal score is 1. And as you see, these patients took 480 milligrams a day for 8 weeks of devil's claw. What we found was that over time, pain score, their stiffness score, and their functional score all improved significantly. Cat's claw. Cat's claw is also very famous. It's been used for a long time and used to reduce arthritis pain and the melting. And here again, these patients had rheumatoid arthritis, but they were already taking a drug specifically designed to help treat rheumatoid arthritis. Well, this alone wasn't that successful because they all had at least 8 joints and a number of swollen joints, at least 6, at the start of the study. For 52 weeks, or a year, we know that the pain and swelling due to the rheumatoid arthritis significantly decreased. In 60 milligrams of cat's claw to their pharmaceutical medication. The pharmaceutical medication alone, like I mentioned, wasn't really doing that much, but with cat's claw, the number of tender joints and swollen joints significantly decreased. Well, ingredient that needed for the use of pain and swelling due to inflammation. Well, let's look and see how well this works. In 7, they had mice run downhill, and that the mice who had the curcumin actually recovered better. They're able to run the same distance, if not a little further, within 24 hours. They had no downtime, so to speak of. Those distances, not significantly different than before they start running. So baseline. Took the curcumin. Advantage. Because those who didn't take the curcumin prior to running downhill sustained for 48, almost 72-hour recovery time, and they couldn't run as far. Sometimes, for instance, they could run were significantly slower than what they were at baseline. Deep inflammation exposed mice who were on curcumin versus those who did not. And that is shown here with yellow bars and the green bars. Both these yellow and green bars represent inflammatory mediators or proteins in times of inflammation. And the was able to significantly reduce the presence of those alpha and interleukin 6. So it had less inflammation. Had less inflammation as indicated by the amount of creatine kinase activity which was released from their muscles. So they had muscle injury. So curcumin did reduce the inflammation, and that's one of the reasons why these mice take curcumin did experience that post-run in their joints, and were able to run. This is were at the beginning of the trial. So, how easy is it for us to take curcumin? Well, curcumin is not very stable. It's low pH of 11.7. Well, that pH doesn't normally exist in our bodies. So, curcumin is stable once in our body system. It's very available to us because it's so unstable. It's absorbed, but it's rapidly excreted. Well, those 4 points make curcumin an ideal natural supplement in its natural form. So how do we can feel the difference? Well, there are many things to consider. And one of the things we have to consider is how can we deliver curcumin bodies so that we can feel the difference. One that the dissolved is optimized. Here, naturals encapsulate our elements in a metals capsule or gelatin capsule. Both are not pH dependent for disintegration. They are dependent on temperature and water. And so both these types of capsules are fully dissolved within 20 minutes of ingestion, regardless if you are fasting or you take it with some food. The next at Platinum Naturals is we a protective coating around all of our supplements. And coating is our delivery system. And that coating is like a suspension technology. Ingredients are cut up into very small pieces, and each particle is suspended in omega oil. And all this is done under oxygen. So there's no oxygen or moisture present in encapsulation environment. And then it allows to be optimized in order to provide its abilities to the ingredients, and it's a barrier to moisture and oxygen. So the OST optimizes absorbency and potency, and we can guarantee that. The Omega Suspension Technology System that was by David Kang here at Platinum Naturals, who was our founder, won the Leonardo da Vinci Award in 2007. And this award was given to us for innovation and creativity in development of OST as a delivery system for natural supplements. We beat out Pfizer for this award. Powerful delivery system. Illustrate that. Here I have a picture of a stomach, and we know the stomach pH is 1.5 to 4. Well, curcumin is stable at a pH of greater than 11.7. So curcumin that hits your stomach is going to be rapidly degraded. But if you add a coat of oils around the curcumin, such as our OST technology does, it protects it from the harsh environment of the stomach. Curcumin to survive this harsh environment and be released into our small intestinal system. Once in the small intestinal system, now pH is a little better. It's between 7 and 8. We don't really need to worry about that because all of us are suspended in an omega oil, so have a protective coating on them. And how is there in the small intestine? Well, 2,700 square feet of surface area that we utilize to absorb natural such as curcumin. What curcumin gives us is it allows curcumin to be absorbed throughout the small intestine, because the small intestine itself is covered in that loves lipids. You can also have crude or unprotected curcumin throughout your intestinal surface, but like I mentioned before, most of it will have been disintegrated within the stomach itself. And also, the pH of the small intestine is far below the optimal pH for curcumin. So then, further disintegration of curcumin will occur in your small intestine. So very little of it will be able to be absorbed by your small intestine. To this, it was a study by QE in 2009, and since this time, there have been many other studies that corroborate this finding. In a SMEDS, or self-emulsifying drug delivery system, which is very similar to our ST procedure, that by putting curcumin in a microemulsion droplet of oil, that 9% of the curcumin was absorbed over a 24-hour period. Curcumin that was only suspended in water, absorption over a 24-hour period. Therefore, curcumin in a droplet deficit absorption and protected it and allowed it to be maximally absorbed in the small intestine. So that's Care X. And ingredients would respond and do respond the same way to bisphenol and OST. They all take advantage of being protected by a coat of MT coconut oil or preserved olive oil, which is from the harsh environment of the stomach and allows it to be further protected in the small intestine and easily taken up in the small intestine. So let's talk about bromelain as we go on. Well, bromelain has been used for a long time for acute knee pain. And you see that by taking 200 milligrams once a day of bromelain for a month, that you improve your pain 45%, stiffness by 45%, and your overall function by 40%. So quite significant. Now about serratiopeptidase. So bromelain is just one of the proteolytic enzymes in this formulation. And I'd like to talk about is serratiopeptidase. Serratiopeptidase was shown in 2008 to be very effective for relieving pain post-extraction of third molar or wisdom tooth. Well, you could just take paracetamol, which is like acetaminophen, and your pain intensity score was 6 out of 10. That's really not acceptable for pain. I'd like to keep our pain scores about 2 or 3 or less. Add peptidase to the mixture, able to further reduce the pain to 3, which is an acceptable amount of pain post-op. This was shown in 2010 and other studies as well to be effective at alleviating acute inflammation. And Jadav showed in 2010 that it was as effective as diclofenac. Diclofenac is this dark bar here. You can see that serratiopeptidase, either at 10 milligrams per kilo or 20 milligrams per kilo, was just as effective as diclofenac at reducing an injury. With anti-inflammation, the red indicates how much swelling there actually was. Okay. Now, so look at this again. 2 days after the injury, if you use these diclofenac or serratiopeptidase 10 or 20 milligrams, how effective is it going to be compared to diclofenac? Well, it's almost as effective. 20 milligrams was as effective as diclofenac. 10 milligrams also reduced the amount of swelling quite significantly compared to the control who got nothing. So serratiopeptidase is in fact very powerful as acute anti-inflammatory and a chronic anti-inflammatory. Well, keep in mind what I just told you, that diclofenac and serratiopeptidase were equally as effective at alleviating inflammation. Diclofenac is the first line of management for migraine pain. That in 5 random control studies, people were pain-free within 1 to 2 hours of taking diclofenac or serratiopeptidase, and that they take free or had sustained relief from their brain for 24 hours. So peptidase is as effective as diclofenac. Serratiopeptidase. Well, serratiopeptidase is isolated from Serratia marcescens, and marcescens is a bacteria that's found in the intestine of the silkworm, and is used by the silkworm to dissolve its cocoon. Well, serratiopeptidase reduces swelling by breaking down histamine, bradykinin, and serotonin, all inflammatory mediators. It promotes healing and repair. It also promotes healing because it breaks down insoluble protein products of inflammation. It reduces the thickness and facilitates the drainage of inflammatory fluid, and also facilitates the absorption and degradation of decomposed proteins, cells, and tissues. So it's basically cleaning up the bed, make the injury site clean and ready to be populated by fresh, healthy cells and create a repair issue in that area. And recently, it's been shown that peptidase enhances antibiotic activity. So, peptidase get absorbed. Well, peptidase has the intestinal mucus. There's a layer of mucus that protects the intestinal cells throughout the intestinal system as well as in the stomach. The pathway for itself is able to find a path between the two intestinal cells and gain access to the bloodstream to be delivered to the liver. What happens if you encase these ingredients OST? The advantages of encasing these ingredients in OST is it's just the OST with the in omega oil. And there's fillers or lubricants or preservatives in any of our ingredients because what the OST is. The other OST is that omega oils are required throughout life. They're required during pregnancy, infant and children for brain and development, omega fatty acids to help sustain a healthier cardiovascular system and also sustain a healthier brain and eye function. The OST to help protect ingredients and help deliver our ingredients to our tissues and cells so we benefit from their activity. And I'm showing you a stomach, and the stomach is a very harsh environment because pH. The pH is about 1.5 to 4. And the peptidase is rapidly destroyed. And very little of it is left to be absorbed in the intestinal system. But peptidase is a coat of oils, and this protects it from the harsh environment of the stomach. Next into the intestinal system, unlike the unprotected peptidase, the OST carries the ingredients through the mucus lining of the intestinal system, not harming it at all, because this mucus layer is vital to the health of our intestinal cells. It is as it is with just crude or unprotected peptidase, these cilia become exposed to the elements, small of a or self. It is the ability of these cells to pull ingredients from within the cavitation of the small intestine. So there's two purposes. It acts the small intestinal cells, but it also acts to grab hold of the ingredients and pull them towards the cilia so they can be slowly absorbed into the cell. It does not disturb this layer, allowing it, the mucus, to grow onto the OST molecules containing the peptidase. Migrates through the mucus layer into the cell, through the cell membrane, which is amenable and loves omega-3 fatty acids. So the membrane loves omega-3 fatty acids so much, it loves peptidase because peptidase is hidden in molecules of OST. And through the cell membrane, they can migrate between cells, and they easily gain access to our circulation, and they flow also to the liver. So, a study by Shendy in 2015. He took peptidase crude, and he also took peptidase in the liposome. Now, peptidase liposome is very similar to peptidase in our OST system. And what is that? When peptidase is in the liposome, it's protected. It allows it to be released into the circulation slowly at high doses, very early on, and then it sustains that level for 24 hours. Where peptidase that's not protected, you absorb about 40% of that, in 40% of what you take in just your circulation, by 24 hours, you only have about 20% left circulate in your system. Where a liposome, or say OST, you absorb 80%, or you have ingredients, and you release 80% of what you've absorbed in circulation, and at that 80% release rate for at least 20 hours. That's one of the reasons why when you use Inflacare, the effects are long-lasting, and you can feel them working for a long period of time, within a short period of time, though. And as they say, and these individual mice had a paw injury, and they would say there's serratia peptidase or serratia peptidase lysosome. Mice that had the injury, but we treated with the serratia peptidase lysosome, had paw swelling. Not have serratia peptidase, but not in the liposome, had a tremendous amount of paw swelling compared to those who did not. Now, but the reason why this is a multi is synergy amongst the ingredients. So these ingredients all relieve pain and all anti-inflammatory, all reduce swelling, but they different ways. Sometimes chew badness and rid of all the dead cells in the tissues, so it helps to speed healing, and it also breaks down all transmitters that transmit pain and also the inflammatory mediators. So that helps reduce inflammation and provide pain relief. Whereas these ingredients directly influence of swelling. So together, this product is a very powerful product. You need a lot of any one thing. What you need is a lot of different ingredients put together into one capsule, where they work synergistically together to help relieve pain, reduce inflammation, and promote rapid healing. And the rapid healing component is primarily related to the presence of amitriptyline, trypsin, and serratia peptidase. So here, for pain and inflammation relief is safe for everyone. And because all the ingredients are suspended in OST, and like I showed you, you have sustained release as a result of that, you can feel the difference with Inflacare. So thanks for listening to our webinar today on CareX. And if you have questions, please feel free to contact me here at Platinum Naturals, or contact your territory manager, and they'll get in touch with me with your question. So have a nice day, and thanks again for listening. Bye now.